How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Gameswell show. We have a special one-on-one episode today with Jessica. Hello.
Hey, that's me.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. We have a exciting time in video games right now.
We do?
We have a
Why?
brand new generation of video games that has officially started as of last Friday with the Nintendo Switch, which is right here.
Whoa!
Now, the reason we're doing a one-on-one is because it's about this Switch right here. Thomas and Emily have not gotten a chance to really go hands-on with it all that much. Jessica and I have. So, yeah.
Yeah.
For lack of anybody else, numbers-wise, really playing it.
Yeah.
That's why we're just doing 2 people today.
Yes.
So, we're just going to talk, this whole episode, it's going to be just about the Switch. We're just going to talk about...
with a little bit of mention of Breath of the Wild and stuff like that, because that's what we've been playing on
like
there.
Switch-related things.
Switch-related, yeah. I'm trying to fix my mic a little
no,
bit, so I'm sorry if that's a little loud for you guys.
So we're going to talk about the console itself and all the stuff like that, and of course Breath of the Wild, which is
I
the
wore
only
my
game
fancy Zelda shirt for you, so
did.
I'm excited about that.
We have not played any other games other than Breath of the Wild.
No.
So keep that in mind.
Yes.
We're not ignoring them. We have not experienced them, so therefore we can't talk about them.
Yeah, we basically we're in talks to buy some of the other games, but we haven't heard anything good enough about any one of them to sway us. I think
Snipperclips is really the only one I'd be interested in, just because I want to play a game with you.
Yeah,
Like,
I want to play something multiplayer.
Yeah. And the only other option is really Bomberman and 1-2 Switch. Neither of which
are getting that great of reviews.
Bomberman seems fine. 1-2 Switch seems really boring though.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna start out by talking about the console itself.
Yep.
So here we have it in the kickstand mode.
Yes.
With Joy-Cons attached. What are your general impressions? Just like.
So general impressions, the actual screen itself, really well made. It feels like a tablet. It's about that sort of weight to it.
It's heavier than I expected.
It's a little bit heavier than I expected, but at the same time, it doesn't feel too heavy when you actually hold it.
Yeah.
I really like the Joy-Cons, actually. I have smaller hands, so I could see maybe for somebody with bigger hands, maybe it being kind of annoying how small they are. But as I have kindergartner hands, I really enjoy the size.
I have about average size hands. I still find them comfortable. One thing I've noticed that to find them more comfortable is instead of moving my right thumb down to the joystick, I just kind of use the ball of my thumb.
Use the ball of the thumb?
Yeah. Or like the joint right here. And that works because I have big hands.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. So it is comfortable for people without hands too, just playing it out there.
Yeah. I was thinking more like Thomas, because Thomas has bigger hands.
Monster hands.
Yeah.
He's a very large man. So.
And like that's what I would maybe worry about. I don't like the placement of the charger port being at the bottom of the console. That's one of my first complaints about it, just because if you are playing it in kickstand mode like this, you can't charge it at the same time that you're playing it. And with a battery life of about, I'm finding it to be about 3.5 hours is what I would give it. Maybe a little bit less, depending. You need to be able to charge it if you are doing anything for any extended, like really extended period of time, I guess. I also do not like that the volume and the power buttons are like right next to each other. I have frequently gone to turn the volume down and accidentally hit the power button. Which is not that big of a deal, but
it just puts it in like rest mode.
It just puts it in rest mode.
It's like a Vita kind of situation.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not that big of a deal, but just a little annoyance.
Yeah.
Like if I were to let's say it's out of 100 points, I would knock maybe like 1 or 2 points off for that.
I'm curious as to why they didn't put the volume over here. This is where the cartridge goes, and here's the headphone jack. And here's a vent. I'm curious why they didn't switch the card and the volume, so the volume is next to the headphone jack. That seems like the most logical placement for it, and would avoid that problem completely. But you know what? We don't design video game consoles, so what do we know?
No, the bumpers are comfortable. I feel like left and right bumpers. They're good. They're far enough apart from each other to where they work pretty well. The kickstand feels kind of flimsy, but I guess it's meant to kind of like, not meant, but it can break off and you can get new ones and replace that. Yeah. So that's not too big of a concern for me. I like how the Joy-Cons slide in and out. It's very simple. As you see, I could just do it there, and it was super straightforward.
It does require 2 hands, though.
I mean, I just did it with one.
I mean, you held the console,
that's true. I did held the console. Yeah. So that's, I think that works pretty well. The controller feels kind of boxy when you hold it.
The grip with the Joy-Cons attached. Okay.
It feels kind of boxy with the grips attached to it, but I don't mind it. I think that it still works well. It doesn't have the same feel that an Xbox or PlayStation controller might have. It feels a little bit more unique, but I still enjoy it.
It's so comfortable.
It's still comfortable. Everything about this is actually fairly ergonomic and fairly comfortable, I say.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree. My big thing is I like the addition of the screenshot button. I think it's cool.
Yes.
I'd love to see it turn into a full-fledged Twitch button or share button like we have on PlayStation. And Xbox doesn't, but it has like...
And that's a huge step for Nintendo is having that screenshot share and having that link to social media for a company that's been so... I was going to say, I don't want to say anti, but kind of anti sharing footage and sharing your individual playing. It seems like a step in the right direction and a step to being more modern.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's one of the reasons why I want to see a Twitch functionality on it.
Yeah.
Is because I want to see them keep doing that, especially with they seem to, with their launch trailer for the Switch or the announcement trailer. They really seem to be pushing esports, and like that's the thing.
Yeah.
You need to be able to stream this stuff.
Yeah, people like watching competitive players play.
My big thing, you hit a lot of points that I agree with on like the actual design of the console. The big thing I don't like is where the plus and minus are. I feel like it's a little bit more of a stretch. I don't know where I'd place them though. That's the thing.
I don't
maybe
mind
on the
them too
back
much.
of the Joy-Con.
Maybe.
But then you run into the grip problem.
Yeah.
Where would they be on the grip? So I don't know.
For me, I haven't ran into that as too big of an issue.
Yeah, it's a very minor thing.
Yeah,
a very minor thing. The actual operating system itself, I really like. It's fast. It downloads very quickly.
Yeah. I very rarely. I would say that Breath of the Wild is probably the most intense game for the Switch right now.
Oh, definitely.
Because it's running on
Just
Unreal.
Dance.
Yeah, I don't know. And I very rarely experience frame rate drops. And honestly, when I do, it's when it's in the docked mode. And when I'm in a really grassy, intense area, I've experienced some rate drops. Or frame drops. But other than that, especially when it's in the handheld mode, works perfectly. I've been really impressed with how it runs.
Yeah, the whole UI is very snappy. One of the things I really like about this is when you go to start, you can have multiple profiles on it, which is good.
Yeah.
When you go to start the game and ask who's playing, instead of logging you in at the get-go and ask who's launching this app. Yeah,
similar, because it's different from Xbox and PlayStation where you sign on as your profile and do that. I completely agree with you. I really love that. I love having everything laid out in front of you, and then when you go into something, picking your user. Big improvement.
One thing I haven't explored yet with it that I'm really excited to. The eShop is very, very scarce right now. There's not a whole lot on it. But you actually can get a Japanese eShop account and buy games and put it on because it's region free now. That was one of the big things. And so I'm excited. I want to go explore the Japanese eShop and see if there's anything cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know they've got some different games than we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the overall user interface is really intuitive. It's very simple. It's minimalistic, but it works. It's very friendly.
It is.
So I like it a lot.
Something that I was surprised about with this system, I knew from the get-go, and it's not actually, I would not dock any points or anything from any sort of fictional rating that I would give it, is I'm surprised that there's no camera. It just seems like something that they would have included on this, and it would not surprise me if there's like a pro version or something, like something new that comes out with the Switch where it does have a camera.
The only thing I would argue, the only thing I would say the reason why it doesn't have a camera is in docked mode, where would your camera be? If they want to have
I would think because it kind of hangs up above, have it hang up from the top.
That's true.
That's kind of what I was thinking. But like I said, I wouldn't dock any points or say anything bad about it because it doesn't have a camera. I'm just surprised.
That's fair. Yeah, especially with like the Wii U had the camera right on there and it scanned your face to make the Mii. Because
we do have the motion sensors in the Joy-Cons, but it just surprises me that we don't have a camera in the actual unit.
Yep. No, that's totally fair. The Let's talk about the dock really quick.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
The back of the dock really surprised me. You're the one who set the Switch up. I was at work. Excuse me. Ooh.
Whoa.
I burp a lot. The back of the dock. I wish we had it here, but we don't. Has like this thing you can pull down. It opens up the compartments.
It kind of conceals the cables in the back.
Yeah, it hides the cables in the back. I really like that.
I do too.
I think it's really nice because we've got a lot of cables. They're just floating around. And it's nice to have them all go into one area and come out a very small, confined thing. I think it's really cool. So
No, I really like that too. My biggest issue with the dock, and I have not experienced it personally yet, but it looks like it's very important to get a screen protector because the wear and tear from putting the dock in and out can cause scratches, especially along the bottom of the unit.
Yeah. So get a screen protector if you have a Switch.
Yeah, get a screen protector. Do not put stickers on the Joy-Cons.
Yeah. Or on the dock itself.
Or on the dock itself. It can ruin your console.
It will ruin the finish on the Joy-Cons and the dock.
Which is a nice finish, so I would not want to ruin that.
The other thing is to get a case. Get a carrying case.
Get a carrying case.
Ours is on its way. Our screen protector's on its way too. We sound like hypocrites because we don't have either of those things. But they're on its way. Shipping and whatnot. Yeah. So, let's talk about Breath of the Wild.
Let's talk about it, yeah.
You've played significantly more than I have. I've cleared maybe 4 shrines. So
yeah, you're on the Great Plateau, so you're on the very beginning of it still.
But you are decent amount in.
Yeah, I'm a decent amount in. I'm gonna make this really spoiler free, and there's a lot of spoilers to this game. So I'm not really gonna reveal anything about the plot. I have gotten quite a few shrines, like I would say probably somewhere in like close to 20, okay. in several towers, and I've done.
And towers are similar to like the Far Cry towers, where like you
you unlock the region map basically, and oh my gosh, it's expansive. It's very challenging. I have not played a Zelda that has been this challenging for me personally since probably A Link to the Past. And the reason is because I'm not the best at 2D games. It's very, because like with Link to the Past, it's very dependent upon like knowing how to dodge and jump and being able to maneuver. And so that for me was a challenge. And this game is challenging in a very different way, obviously, because it is a 3D Zelda game. But at the same time, I have not felt that challenge in a game in years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, not to be mean, but you die a lot.
Yeah, I die frequently. And it's at first, the first time I died, I was like, oh crap, like that's my first death. And then by death like 20, you're just like,
well, the best part too is it marked on the map where you die.
Yes.
And that's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, it only marks the last death.
Oh,
not all of them, or else my map would just be X's right now.
I haven't died yet. So.
I'm fairly good at. I'm not good at the game. I don't want to. That sounds cocky. Like I'm doing well in the game. Yeah. But yeah, you die. And it's the puzzles. I love the inclusion of shrines for the puzzle aspect of the game because I knew this was going to be a little bit different. It's not the formulaic Zelda that we know,
which I love,
which you love. Yeah, I know you're a huge fan of that.
But of the not formula.
Yes.
Like, I don't like the Zelda formula. I think it's boring.
I, on the other hand, love formulated Zelda games. I think it's part of its charm, and so I was nervous about it. But the shrines kind of harkens back to that old feel of, like, doing the puzzles, doing the challenges. I feel like I'm almost doing my review for Zelda right now, and I really enjoy that. I also really, really like the tower inclusion and clearing out the region maps, and I like that the story is there. I was so nervous about the story not feeling as much of like a story as I wanted it to.
I want to talk about that really quick because when we first started, I was watching you play when you first started, and you were I could tell you didn't have to say anything. Your body language, you were very upset.
I was very upset.
You were very upset.
Yes.
2 things.
I felt like I was put into an open, empty area with no purpose, and I was frustrated. And the shrines felt very underwhelming. But now that I'm actually in the game and you see the scale of everything and you see the bosses, and like I also wasn't a fan of the bosses being kind of everywhere because there's lots of like little boss challenges. Yeah, there's guardians. There's actual there's these giant ogres that have names. There's these dragons that kind of just free roam the area. And I don't know. I was
with transition to you enjoying it a lot more. Can you think, was there a specific moment where that clicked for you, or was it just kind of a gradual thing?
The specific moment when it clicked for me is, and I'm trying not to do spoilers, is when you find out the identity of a certain person towards the beginning of the game, and you start hearing more of the story, and you start understanding what happened 100 years ago, because that's referenced quite a bit, and you find out that there is some of that formula there. That formula still exists. There are 4 champions, and like I said, I'm trying to avoid spoilers here.
It's just buried under a lot of open worldness.
Yes.
Is what it sounds like.
It is. And you can't just do the story. And that for me is mildly frustrating because I'm one of those people who I like doing the story. Like that's what I do in a video game.
Yeah, you're not really a side quest person.
I'm not a side quest person. I honestly, this might make me lose some gamer cred right here, but I don't enjoy Bethesda games nearly as much as the rest of the world seems to. That sounds like hog, but that's not how I mean it. But I'm just saying, like, it's harder for me to enjoy those type of games. I enjoy them for limited bits of time. I admire them for what they are. I think that the industry is too reliant on those types of games at the expense of linear games. I don't know when linear became a dirty word in gaming, but I hate it.
Right around when Final Fantasy 13 came out.
Yeah.
It was literally a hallway.
Yeah, I don't, but I like pretty linear games. That's just how I am. But for me, it was kind of frustrating wanting to do the story and being like, no, I need to go do this, this, and this, and this, and this. That way I'm ready to do the story, because you can't just run in there and do it. Yeah. So at the same time, this game is kind of nice in that it's challenging me in a way that I haven't been challenged, to actually embrace open world, to embrace exploration, and to embrace side quests in a way that I don't do.
So really, this is very, very, very early on. Where does this? Do you have an idea of where this is starting to place on your Zelda list?
As of right now, I would
obviously
say
this is still super early because you're not done with the game.
Yeah,
quite a bit to go from what we know.
Yeah.
So I just want to make that really clear.
I would say it's somewhere in the top. Because a lot of people were saying, oh, you won't have to readjust your list. It's going to be number 1 and just bump everything down. As of right now, I disagree with that sentiment. I would say that it is in my top 5 or 6. But I need to play it more. I need to get more into that story. And in order to get more into that story, I have to get more into the side stuff. And so it's a lot of exploring and just kind of wandering around right now. And I'm starting to embrace that and enjoy that more.
Good. That's actually really cool to hear. It's great to see a game that was traditionally so formulaic. Yeah. Really force you who enjoyed that formula to break the mold with the game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the game is breaking the mold, and it's forcing you to step outside your comfort zone. For sure. In a way that's also familiar. I think that's really cool, and it says a lot about the design of the game.
Yeah, because that formula still is there. Like, for those of you who might be feeling like me, like I said, this is almost an impromptu Breath of the Wild review, but I saw even... Yeah, there we go. So for those of you, I've even seen some people, I'm part of the Kind of Funny forums, or like community, and I've seen some people saying, like, I don't know how I feel about this game. It feels really empty, and like that's how I felt at the very beginning also. But I think the big thing is once you get off that plateau, which actually sounds like, you know, it's like an allegory. Once you get off of that, you talk to people, you go to villages, the world feels more full, you run into people when you're running around Hyrule, and there's mini quests and stuff that all kind of tie together and that feel very natural, and you do have that formula still there. You still have 4 people who you need to talk to, like the 4 different, you have the Rito, the Zora, the Guerdos, and the Gorons. And you still have those 4 groups where you need to go, you need to do your quests for them, you need to do the temple, fight the boss. You still have that. It's just buried a little bit deeper, and it requires you to break kind of your comfortability a little bit.
I think it's awesome. I think this is going to be a Zelda game that when I get around to playing it, we have so many games right now.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Horizon, Nier, Mass Effect, all that. Mm-hmm. When I get around to this, I think it's going to be one of those games I really enjoy. I think you will I'm too. A very big critic of Zelda games. Yeah. For 2 reasons. One, I've seen most of them played all the way through, so to me, they're boring when I go to play them. Yeah. But that's not their fault. The other thing that is their fault is they are very formulaic, and that bothers me. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. I think it's very uninspired. Mm-hmm.
So this game, you cannot say this game is at all uninspired. I'm not saying you're saying that, but I'm just saying if there's one thing that I will say about this game, it's that, like, holy shit, there was creativity and heart put in this. Mm-hmm. Like, this feels...
like a breath
of fresh air, Breath of the Wild. No, it's different. It's really cool. I was kind of nervous about the art because I am one of those people who I prefer almost the darker Zelda art. Like,
yeah, you don't like Wind Waker or like Minish Cap art.
Yeah, like I like Twilight Princess style art, which is like the darkest art that they have ever done. Very like oranges and blacks and darks.
I would argue that if Majora was made with HD, it would be darker.
It would be like the Twilight Princess color scheme.
I'm saying it would be darker than Twilight Princess.
Oh, it would be darker than Twilight. Yeah, maybe.
I think if it was HD, it would be.
But anyway, I would maybe agree with that. But I tend to like that sort of almost realism, but not really because it's still, art. But this, for me, I still really like the art. I still find myself enjoying it. And to get back to the Switch, it runs really well on it. I can't really complain. And it's so incredibly cool to be able to portably play Zelda. Like, even in my free time, I'm turning into one of those people who I just pop it out and play it because...
Yeah. I mean, like, it's more or less been glued to your hands.
Yeah.
Since we got it on Friday. Which is great. It's great to see because you're one of those people that's very busy and you don't play games as much. So it's great to see you be able to really embrace that. And I think
I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying the hell out of it. Yeah, sure.
Like I said earlier, like I haven't played the Switch nearly as much as you.
Yeah.
I've been busy with Horizon, but I've been really enjoying this. I've picked up every once in a while. I play the demo for Snipper Clips.
Yes.
I'm not good at it. I would like to play with somebody else to kind of bounce ideas off of because it's a puzzle game. So we might grab that eventually and.
Yeah, that might be like something that we buy this week.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like the Switch. I like what I've seen in Zelda. You clearly are now liking what you've seen in Zelda, despite our initial impressions.
Yes.
Which is good to hear. I'm really excited.
Yeah. I would say it's, like I said, top 5, type 6, somewhere around there.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well,
we'll see
I'm
as this goes on.
excited for your official review.
The characters, actually, for it being not a very story-driven game, I'm starting to really enjoy the characters. They feel very fleshed out. They have personality. I like it.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to your review and hearing your final thoughts.
Thanks.
So
I'm looking forward to doing it for you guys.
You'll be able to see that on youtube.com/subtrendy.
In a week, basically.
Yes.
From when this video comes out, a little less than that.
Yeah, I think we have it scheduled for
this coming Monday.
Yeah, this Monday. So yeah, you'll be seeing that around then. And then we'll also have other reviews I've got coming out. We got some reviews for movies and stuff like that coming out. So thank you so much for sitting down and talking.
Thank you for letting me talk. I mean, I feel like I just ranted the whole time. So
it's you. You got this. I'm just here to host. Anyway,
you're a great host.
Thank you. Patreon.com/subtrendy. You can go over there and throw us a few bucks. As little as $1 helps out. We really appreciate it. Helps keep the lights on and give us stuff to review for you guys. And if you can't donate, that's totally fine. We love you anyway. You can like us and subscribe to us on YouTube for free, though, which does also help, and on Facebook.
For sure. We love those subs.
Yes. So do that. Follow Jess and I on Twitter. We talk about a bunch of video games.
I tweet all the time about video games, so if that's what you're about, Jessica Howard.
Yeah. So yeah, jump on there. And thank you guys so much for watching, and check back next week for Jessica's Breath of the Wild review. Thanks for watching.